a chance, we'd like to welcome you and thank you all for coming. And boy, do we have a show for you.
Yeah!
I'm Peter Ruvolo, sitting in for denouncer Jim Buckley. And tonight is the guaranteed, absolutely, positively last rendition, short of a syndicated deal, Broadway play, published memoir, documentary, or feature film, of course, of If I Can't Dance, You Can Keep Your Republican Revolution! On this auspicious occasion, all that matters is that you are here. We have beer.
And champagne!
Yeah!
And we are thrilled and honored to hear from the spirit of all kinds of people. Watch some video, engage in some sing-along. Let's welcome inside of our special guest, the one, the only, Coca Crystal.
Yay! Hey everyone, it's me, Coca Crystal TV star. Avatar of counterculture and provocateur, it's true. It was in the New York Times. And if I can't dance, you can keep your revolution. We have good news today and we have bad news. The good news is we're here.
Yeah!
The bad news is we will never be here again.
Oh.
This, our very last show, is broadcasting live from the New Yorican Cafe. Let's give it up for Darren, our technical guy.
Yeah, Darren!
Kenny there behind us.
Yeah!
Fantastic. I'm going to say right on. I decided I was going to say right on as many times as I could today.
Right on, sister!
We are gathered here together today to engage in some anti-authoritarian music, humor, politics, poetry, talk, telephone, and I want you to know that there will be no extra charge for that technical failure. I think we raised the residuals of Toots and the Maytel in the pre-show music there. I'm thrilled to be surrounded by these really good friends and people who've been on my show for many years. You are some of my top favorites. As we look backward and forward, I'm proud to say I was the star and producer of my own life from November 1947 to March 2016, and what I achieved is spiritual enlightenment and fame on a budget. I'd like to kick off this righteous party with a little magic. Now, I might be a little rusty, but this is something I have rehearsed and practiced a great deal. Now, wait for it.
Yeah!
I know you were expecting pot. But it's actually the #1 reason I quit the show. We ran out of pot. Now, we have brownies, but the pot doesn't enhance the taste of anything. It's like kale. So, champagne for my friends. Peter, if you could help them out there. We'd like you to join us in a toast today. And Peter's going to bring around a glass. I think I'm going to stand for my toast. I'm going to toast to Wednesday nights at 10:30 on Channel D.
Yeah.
Hi, honey.
How beautiful.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Nice
it's
to
good to
see you too.
all of you. You know what? I'm just going to come out and see everybody that's here. Hi. Hi. It's
Thank
so
you.
nice of you to come. It's so nice of you to be here. Yeah, I love that. I love that. It's so nice of you. It's so good to see everyone. Hello. 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 How are you? Oh, it's so good to see you. It's so good. Look at all these lovely people. It is so good to see you. You know what I realized? I realize I have a lot of smart and sometimes famous people as friends. I think they're all here at the moment. It's terrific. You know, since it's been a while since some of us have seen each other, I thought it would be fun to play a little game. So here it is. I want you to describe something we did, ideally together, in 3 words or less, and I don't even have to remember it. So if my friend Danielle was here, she would say, did a play, right? Did a play. So can you all think of something in 3 words or less? What did we do together, darling?
We fed a horse.
Fed a horse. There you go. What else did we do together, darlings? 3 words or less.
Climbed a volcano.
Climbed a volcano. I remember that. Fantastic.
Man from space.
Man from space. Oh, I want to talk with you about that later.
8 morels.
8 morels. Fantastic. 3 words or less. You guys are good at this game.
8 Chinese food.
8. I think we let that go, right? 8 Chinese food. I don't know. Is it hyphenated? No. I don't remember. 3 words. Fantastic. 3 words.
Camped at Crane Point.
Camped at Spring winning point. Fantastic. 3 words or less. Say it again, darling.
Traveled across America.
Traveled across America. Yes, we did indeed do. 3 words or less. Something we did. Lived in Greenhaven. What else?
Emma Goldman Brigade.
Emma Goldman
Yeah.
Brigade. Fantastic. What else? 3 words or less. Something we did together, darlings.
About 58 minutes.
About 58 minutes. Okay, I think on that note, I'll come on up here. Here we go. Fantastic. Now, you know, I'm really glad to see us all here together and cleaned up and looking shiny and behaving rather well. Even the anarchists among us, anarchists get a bad rap, you know. Anarchism is really about a society that is absolutely based on social cooperation. We really know how to behave when it is important, and we really know how to behave when it's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Right on, I'm gonna say that now. In honor of social change, I do believe that Cousin Dan might be out here with his guitar ready to rock and roll for us. Is that true, Cousin Dan? Are you out there with the, come on up, baby. Come on up. Peter, can you pour me a little bit of that? Thank you, baby. I'm gonna come on over here and make some room. Are you playing?
Oh, my guitar's back here.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
I don't even know.
Did I do something wrong? Did I forget the guitar?
It may be in tune, it may not be in tune.
I may be in tune, I may not be in tune. Oh, that's good. That's good. So I think you all know, you're gonna play the fix into direct?
What?
You're gonna play the fix into direct?
Well, I never played it before, but we hum a few bars.
Okay, someone know it?
Give me an F.
There we go. Can you come on up, darling? Can you come up? All right, because we need someone to really lead this cheer. Come on up.
I've never cooked on my own, so I cannot see.
All right, fantastic. Yes, please. Please, please.
Okay, give me an F. Give me a U. Give me a C. Give me a K. What's that spell? What's that spell? What's that spell? He wasn't ready.
You know it. I help us out.
I don't know this song.
Well, come on, all you big strong men, Uncle Sam, need your help again. God himself in a there. See, afterwards, terrible jam, way down yonder in Vietnam. Put down your books and pick up a gun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Well, it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't FBI, don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam, and it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Well, ain't no time to wonder why. We're all gonna die.
Yeah, that's all the time. That's it. That was fun. I thought that was fun, right? Very funny, very funny. This very last funny show got me thinking about the time I was asked to do a eulogy. And it was Vincent Titus. And may he rest in peace. And he was hit by a bus. It took a bus. He was on the show every week with his poetry. He was larger than life, but in a blurry sort of way. And anyway, I was asked to speak at his funeral, and as unaccustomed as I was to eulogizing, I said, remember when we first had caller ID? And you would see it was Vincent calling and you wouldn't pick up because he could be so annoying. Well, I'd see it was Vincent and I'd answer the phone and I'd say, oh God, Vincent, what do you want? And he would say, what have you got? Well, for obvious reasons, Vincent cannot be with us today, but I just happen to have the poem he wrote when Beanie retired, and I'm hoping I can get a volunteer from our studio audience to come read it for us now. So in honor of Beanie the singing dog, will someone just come on up and help me out with a little piece of poetry here? Anybody? 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 Oh, come on now. Anybody just come up and read that? Who wants to read the Beanie poem? Who's got a good loud voice, doesn't need a mic?
Danielle.
Where? Oh. Yeah, come on. Here you go, Doug. You ready? You can just stay right there. There you go. It's that spring poem right there.
I hear the voices of the spring,
Louder.
the gentle whisper of the breeze, the myriad ecstasy, the bursting buds on swelling trees. But more than this, the easy languor of the sun, informing me the bird and tree and I are one.
So much. I think I'm gonna cry. fantastic. I'd also like to ask Thelma Blitz to come up. Are you out there, darling? Peter will watch it.
Yeah, I am. Can
All right,
somebody
Peter will watch that camera
the
for
camera?
you, baby. I just want you to come on up. And Thelma
Okay.
wrote this poem for me
All right.
when the cable show went off the air. And I had it framed for a little while, and I just wanted to see if Thelma would come up here and just read a little bit of it.
Hey, focus. Can you focus the camera? Sure.
Right here, darling. Just come up here and read a little bit of it. There you go. Fantastic. Well, let's get you on the camera, too. Here we go. So, here we go.
Oh, yeah. This is
ready.
officially doggerel. Coca Crystal TV star, how we'll miss you when you're not bar. Up above the world so high, now they bumped you and we'll all cry. Let's see, what else was it? Twinkle, twinkle, little Gus, aren't you like the rest of us? 18 years did last the dance, now they kick you in the pants. Twinkle, Thule, twinkle, Bruce, twinkle all who share your juice. Twinkle, Lanny and the rest. In our lives, you were the best.
Yay! Thank you. Now, while we're all drinking and thinking, I was hoping our fabulous mystery guest would arrive. He's been instrumental in some of the Dump Trump demonstrations, and I'm so sad I haven't been able to attend. I really wanted to have him on. But he's not here, so you know, it's like life. Sometimes people don't show up and they're often late, and the time goes by whether you do a good show or not. So instead of our originally scheduled guest, I think we'll just we'll feature shit you think about when you get cancer. This used to be my to-do list, but when I put Beat Cancer on it in 2006, things changed a bit. Now, here is one thing that I moved to the top of the list. It's a grand plan, so I really could use your help to do this. I wanted to start a program for people in the community who like kids and like to cook, and actually to go into group homes and make dinner in person with the kids. Now, I want you to work on that one later today. Please just talk amongst yourselves, because I'm sure someone here in the room knows Oprah or has a connect at the Food Network or something. This is New York City. Now, it was not a giant surprise that I got lung cancer. I had smoked for 40 years, so I didn't just run out and tell everybody, because, you know, I was very worried somebody would say the most horrible thing, which was, well, it serves you right. But it turns out people are really just a little bit nicer than that. When I was diagnosed, I told them I was going to occupy Sloan Kettering, which I did. It's not like I pretended that I didn't have cancer, that it's not a serious thing. I just tried to find the humor, you know, the non-cancerous part of it. When you're on the lung cancer floor, you go down to x-ray a lot, and you want to be just a little covered up. And I noticed that not everyone had a robe. Now, you know me. Just because they put me somewhere and told me to stay there doesn't mean I did that. I was in a wheelchair. It had wheels. So I found the place where they kept the robes and I stole them. It gave me the greatest joy. I was like a messenger of hope and joy and fun, because I like the mischief part of it. I like that I stole them. I like that it helped people. I was perfectly happy to say that I did it and I would do it again. Yeah. I think it was this attitude that helped me beat the cancer. I know some of you don't know this, but I was cancer-free for several years. I was eating organic food. I had stopped smoking. It was just this rare complication with my treatment that was a little bit tougher to beat. And I won't bore you with the details, but you know, when you have a long illness, you have time to do a review, a rewind, and a review. And when I did this, I saw that I was intense. I was radicalized, I was arrested, I was intense before I was radicalized or arrested. There was really no cause or effect there. I was a nascent beatnik, a hippie come yippie, and I was proud of that. And I thought, and it has now been confirmed, that war is the work of Satan. I smoked dope, I had sex before marriage because I didn't marry anybody ever in my life, and that's okay. I made a TV show about joy and politics and nonsense, and I danced with all the groovy people, and I do mean all. You need to wait for this, Cesar Chavez. And I slept with a lot of groovy people too, like Abby Hoffman, because again, I didn't marry anybody, and that's still okay. I worked at Evo. I was a receptionist, a model, a reporter, a financier. I was hijacked and kidnapped to Cuba. I survived 1970, as did most of you. We worked really, really hard to make some things happen. Like getting abortion legal and giving women the pill, and what else do we do? Somebody call it out.
Free weed!
Free weed! What else do we do?
Women's rights!
Women's rights!
Stop the
Protests!
war.
We worked
No,
really
no.
hard for some anti-things too, like to stop a couple of wars. And I proved to the world that you can have a kid like Gus and still do stuff. Really cool stuff, like a TV show, like I was in TV Guide. Every time someone does a Cable's 20 top TV stars, they include me. I raised a kid. He learned to make peach iced tea. It's adorable. He learned to open up the packets and take the tags off and put the tea bags in the jug. I was a mother. I marched. I marched as a mother. Absolutely, and I wrote about it. It was good. It was a good march. I learned it was possible to be in love with a whole group of people, all at the same time, and that sometimes you just have to be in a certain place, doing a certain thing, and that's it. Who knew I would live to be a senior citizen? My life was chaos, but it was cool.
We only have a couple of minutes left. Do you want to say anything else about anything else?
Wow, that was fast. I want to say, be a dignitary in your own lives. Hang out with dignitaries. Show up and show them a good time. Eat free food when you can. If you want to really know someone, look in their fridge. Or just say, hey, before we take this any further, can I see in your fridge? Love yourself. Love everyone else. Hang out and watch the parade, play music and sing all the time, and remember, sometimes you will have to close the door and lock it. When you freak out, call your friends. They'll come. And when it's very, very scary, write it down. Remember that sometimes when you answer the phone, people will want to know if you're wearing panties. They will. Oh, and it's true that no one will take your politics seriously if they catch you dancing. But dance anyway. We used to have this slogan, power to the people. You remember. You remember.
Right on.
And after a while, I started wondering, who are these people? But when I got Gus, I realized he was the people. And now I don't want him to really have any power. Sorry, honey. But I realized that in this world, what is best for him sometimes turns out to be the best for the rest of us. Sometimes your heroes are your friends. Or your kid.
Coca, we have a caller. Line 1, you're on the air.
Hi. Yeah, no, speak up, sweetie. Speak up! No, I'm so glad you phoned. Yes, no, I'm glad. I'm glad you like the show. Yes, there's still going to be more, but my part of the show is over. No, I know. I still want to talk to you, too. But you and I are out of time. So don't worry, though. We'll talk again later. Okay. All right, bye. I don't know if there's a grand design. But you know what I imagine? I imagine that there will be a big counterculture party in the East Village. And all my friends and family will come, and while they are enjoying themselves, I will sneak off and I will pretend to watch cartoons with Gus. And while we are watching, some long-awaited guest will arrive to watch with us. Lanny, Thule, Judith, Julian, Vincent, Yosaria, Abby, lots of Steves. Steve Ben Israel, little Stephen Cohn, little Arthur, Juno the dog. My parents will actually get along. And my little brother Eric. We'll all hold hands and fall asleep together in a wonderful, yummy afternoon nap. And those moments, right before we all fall asleep, those moments will be heaven. Then we'll all move on to the next thing, because there's always a next thing. And we'll all live happily ever after finally. And those people at the party, they all get cake.
Yeah.
Don't you want to tell them when you quit the show?
Nah. No, Gus knows, but he's probably not going to tell. And I won't for a change. It won't come from my big mouth because no one could really believe it. Here's how it's going to go now. When I leave, you're going to stay seated, and you're going to watch a cool documentary about me and Gus, and then still seated, a fabulous multimedia presentation made especially for this last show by William Hohauser. Is he here?
Yes.
Can we give him a big round of applause? And then the show will be officially yours. Ed Sanders, let's give him a big round of applause. We'll be taking over as your MC, and you all are going to play some cool music and tell some stories and stuff on this open mic.
Coca, 45 seconds.
And the last thing I want to say is, I love you.
Love you too.
Because it's nice to hear people talk about love, especially if you don't get to hear I love you very much, or a lot, or not at all. And it's nice to hear someone say, good job.
Good job, Gus.
Good job. Especially if you are really doing a good job. And the best thing we can do for the world is to be a good person, whatever that means to us. And when we help people in small tasks day to day and make their lives easier, that is one of the most revolutionary things we can do. At Sloan Kettering, they make you walk a mile a day. It helps your lungs. And while you are doing it, you see some people. And one time a nice man with an Irish accent came up to me and he said, thank you. You helped my wife so much yesterday. And I said, what did I do? And he said, you told her it was okay to cry. Working on this show with you has been the best.
Oh.
And I was delighted to take part in the festivities. Rebecca, you can roll that duck.
The smiling king of New York City cable has left the building.
No, I haven't.
You like? Now go on and eat. You may just want pot on the shelf. Mainly to beat the heat, as you all know, pot lowers your body temperature. One bite and then you can have coffee. I am Coca Crystal TV star.
Yes, you are.
Of cable TV here in New York City. But more importantly, for the last 5 years, I've been the guardian of Gustav Shea, my executive producer. 9-year-old special boy, retarded, brain damaged, epileptic. That means far entry and Gus star. I am Gus's mother's sister. And Gus got sent to me in 1975. And the only relatives that he had were over 60 years old. And we're not willing to take on a powerhouse kid like Gus is.
Whoa.
up on Mansion in Westchester County, and I was a model from age 1 to 16 for my father's fur company, and the entire family were in these ads. My mother in a full ranch mink with my sister in this little bonnet. Hi, Mom. This is my IBM Selectric typewriter, which I was lucky enough to get during the 1971 Columbia riot. When I first got this typewriter, I thought that I was only allowed to do stories about the revolution. Hi! And I've since amended that a little bit to write a book about how I became the queen of cable TV, because this ornament. In 1969, I was hijacked on a plane to Cuba. And I was one of the only people that had a good time, and I did have people smile on there based on the fact that my mother had met Fidel Castro in the Bronx Zoo and had flirted with him, and I thought this would be enough for them to allow me into the country. I was wrong.
Okay. I heard that you went to the Rainbow Gathering.
Right, okay, I can do that. Next, we're going to have the weekly hot report with Mike Chance. Where have you been? I hear you went to the Rainbow Gatherings.
Right you are. I was down last week at the Rainbow Gathering, attempting to update my hippie credentials, which was quite an event too. In fact, there were some 8,000 people there, mostly naked and all stoned.
My only money that I need today is to get down to the show, so I'll need a couple of bucks, or I can take a cab or a subway. But when I get there, everybody pays $2 to help after the show, so that covers my drinks and the babysitter and my ride home. So, looks like I only need about 60 cents for today, and I think I can scrounge that up. My main economic philosophy is to never spend money unless you can possibly help it. I was able to live about 5 years on about $2,000. So when I go to the store, I say, hey, look, I don't have any money, but Gus needs this, Gus needs that. He'll give me what I want. You know, that's it. And then, look, Gus, what do you got?
What do you need, man? What do you need?